Hello everybody, I'm Ricky Adamas. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the wheel hub assembly on a car caddy. Now, this tow dolly behind me, a car dolly, it has two of these things and you're going to want to replace both of them. Now I'm going to show you where to get both of these, and this thing, it comes with the item on eBay, it comes with two of these, and if you want, as an option, you want to replace the bolts that hold this thing to the car caddy, you could get 8 of these for an additional $12, or you have the option to go to the store and pick them out yourself. I do not know the size of these 4 things that hold the car dolly, this to the car dolly, but I do know for $12 extra the convenience was worth it. I bought these from a guy called MM-Marine, MM-Marine, all lowercase letters, and for $135 I was able to buy 2 of these and 8 of these bolts, and it saved me the nuisance of having to mess around and find out what I was dealing with. So first off, I want to talk about the measurements. On yours, you're going to want to measure and make sure yours is the same as mine. So on the old one and the new one, I noticed that it was about the same. So if you look at this, you'll see you have from here to here, you're dealing with 2 3/8 inches, and if you go from here to here, you're dealing with 3 1/8 to 3 3/16 inches. So 3 1/8 to 3 3/16 inches, depending on how you measure it. Now these are going to be a 16 millimeter bolt. Like I said, I don't know the thread size, whether it looks like coarse, but that's all I know about the thread size. But anyway, if you see my older one, you'll see why I am replacing it. See any differences? Can you see what went wrong there? Now normally you can hammer these out on some cars, but on this one I found it was impossible. It was rust welded, and look, I mean, would you want to salvage this thing anyway? It looks like hell, right? So let's start on the details of how to replace it. It's very simple. All you got to do is the 4 bolts that are right here, the way that you access them is kind of hard. It's hard to access them, so you're going to have to just get a regular old 16 millimeter wrench and just start loosening them, wrenching away. But before you do that, of course, you're going to have to undo the lug nuts that go to the tire. And speaking of the tire choice that I have on my car caddy is an ST205/75 R14, and that tire is here behind me. Now, the tire is not important, it's just a trailer tire. You can get it from wherever. I got mine from Discount Tire, and I went ahead and I bought these little lug nuts. These are M12-1.50. That's what these are, M12-1.50. I bought 10 of these separately. It came out to about $32 at O'Reilly's. So for the whole job, if you buy the bolts and the lug nuts, not leave the tires out of it, you're looking at $135 plus 32. It's gonna be like $167. So if that's not worth it to you, I totally understand. You can go out and buy a new car dolly. They typically range used on Craigslist somewhere from $300 to over $1,000, but I just bought mine for my dad, so you can use this. And I'm going to show you next what mine looks like assembled or attached and installed. Okay, so here we are, this thing installed on the car caddy. Like I showed you, this thing, it takes a 16 millimeter wrench, so you're just going to put it on here, you're just going to, you know, go do this. It's very monotonous, takes forever, but once you do that and you get it on all 4 of these nice and secure, your car caddy is going to be ready to go. So you put that on there. This is the M12 1.5 that I showed you. They fit. I'm just showing you that they fit on here, and I think we should be good now. This should be self-explanatory to just bolt these 4 on. Then you put the tire on here, and then you put these on and torque them to between 80 and 100 foot-pounds. You can look up the specs on it, but between 80 and 100 foot-pounds is acceptable. I wouldn't use an air wrench, because if you overcrank any lug nuts, you can damage something, or the tire can go flying off, and that's very dangerous. So just torque them to about 50, then 75, then 100, and you should be good to go. Go in a star pattern. Here's a quick pro tip. This bolt is very hard with the friction. If you spray some WD-40 on the threads or penetrating oil in the threads and the hole on the other side here, you can get some oil in there to lubricate it, because these things are extremely tight. You can get the wrench just like this, a 16 millimeter, put it on here, notice the bend here, the direction of the bend, and then you can get this one. This is a 9/16, and what you can do is get the wrench here, notice the bend the way I have it here facing in, and try and get it over here, and then you can use this as leverage, and you can pull on this and it'll turn the bolt. But you have to be really careful not to strip it, but it'll make your life a little bit easier when you go to tighten these bolts. See? So anyway, hopefully that makes your life easier. Okay, so here we have the hub that I bought on eBay, and here this is a 16 millimeter or a 5/8, and here's the M12 1.50, M12-1.50 I think it is. And here is something that can save you a ton of time. I want to just give you something, an idea you could try out is, instead of going and putting your bolts in this way, the way they came from the factory, go this way instead, and you can put the bolt going from right to left and just lube up the threads with WD-40 as you're putting it in, because it's going to get really tight in there. I don't know if it's just because of rust or what, but it was really difficult to take off, so maybe you could try that. The first thing you want to do is get the 5/8 or 16 millimeter, and this is already driven all the way in because I just found this out. But the first thing you're going to want to do is just get this in here, get this started, right? So start it with the hand, and then once you do that, next thing you're going to do is you're going to tighten it with the wrench a few times, right? And then after you do that, you could get your 16 millimeter or 5/8 socket like this one, and just attach it to a 1/2 inch ratchet, so a 5/8 socket or 16 millimeter socket, and go with the 1/2 inch to kind of get it even more in there, like this one, how this one I started it. And then after that, you can take the socket and you can put it here on the end of a impact. You don't have to use Milwaukee, but that's just the one that I like to go to. So here we go. I'm not an affiliate of Milwaukee yet, but let's see, maybe in the future. But anyway, you could go here and get a, what is this called, a U-joint, and a little extension, and this one here in the front is going to be the hardest one because this stupid little bar is in the way. But look, tighten that thing with the impact, and just make sure the angle on the U-joint's not too extreme, or else you can break the U-joint. Drive that bastard in there. So hopefully that'll save you some time, and nice and firm, not going anywhere. So the main thing you want to do is just make sure this is lined up. You don't want it to be all jacked up. You want it to be kind of square and flush up against this thing, and it isn't right now, but it's okay. I don't intend to change this thing, and I really don't think it stripped it, so we'll be okay. So thank you for watching, and hopefully this saved you a bunch of time and money, and have a great day. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you. Bye.